Sweetheart, I'm going to be honest with you. Sit down.
Well, I can't sit down. Your feet are there.
I'll remove my feet. Now sit down.
All right, I'll sit down.
Now, don't look at me. Face forward.
Okay.
Because this is going to be hard for me to tell and hard for you to hear.
All right, I won't look at you.
And if I'm inarticulate about this in any way, I want you to understand that this is a difficult thing for a husband to tell his wife. And I'm only doing it, I'm only telling you because I think it's the only way for us to solve this problem.
Yes, this problem.
Now, try not to interrupt, darling, unless you have to, unless there's something you're unclear about. Save your remarks and your comments until the end, all right?
All right, I'll try.
Now, to begin with, I've been lying to you this evening.
Lying?
Shh! Lying. I don't have a class tonight. I've never had a class at night. I don't believe in evening classes. All these years I've been lying. The class that I tell you meets at nights actually meets on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m.
I see.
You may well ask, therefore, where it is I go on these nights I say I have classes. And that's what's so difficult to tell you. The fact is, I never leave this house. Not really. Oh, I leave by the front door all right, but I immediately circle around and back and make my way down into the cellar by means of the bulkhead.
I see.
Now, what do I do in the cellar, you are probably asking yourself. What do I do in the cellar? Darling, don't look at me. Here's what I do in the cellar. I make my way to a small space behind the furnace, and in that small space I've hidden certain things. What have I hidden? I'll tell you. Some black theatrical makeup, a woolly wig, a complete change of clothes, and a small mirror. That's what I've hidden in the cellar.
I see.
Yes, you see, or you're beginning to, darling. When I'm in the cellar, I set the mirror up on an adjacent water pipe. I strip myself to the buff. I daub myself from head to toe in that dusky makeup. I glue on that curly wig. I don those makeshift clothes. I leave the cellar. I go round to the front door. I ring the bell, and I reappear to you. And so you see, my poor darling, I am your Negro visitor. And have been all along.
You?
Me.
But...
Oh, I know, it seems improbable. But remember how you always lower the lights. Remember, too, I played Othello in high school. Somehow I was able to pass. So all these years I've deceived you. Deceived my own wife. Disguising myself as a Negro and capitalizing on the sympathies you naturally feel for that unhappy people.
But why?
Because I wanted to make love to you. And this seemed the only way I could do it. You'll have to admit it worked.
Oh, yes, it worked.
And so from all this depravity, at least a child will be born. And I was its father, after all.
Well, I'm somewhat stunned by all of this.
I know you are, darling. Try to assimilate it while I'm gone.
Gone?
I'm going down to the cellar now.
Your costume!
To burn it.
Burn it!
Burn it! It's all over now. Because you know, the mask is off. Any attempt to wear it now would be foolish. I'd be nothing but a self-conscious amateur. Our love life would be as absurd as it was before I found this way around it. So I'm going to destroy my role. And when I come back, I want you gone.
Gone?
You must leave me now.
No.
Darling, you must. This urge to love you is still in me. I don't know what oblique form it will take next. Take the child and go.
Never.
Darling, you must. I don't know what I'll think of next in the cellar. I've got Genet down there and a complete Marquis de Sade. I'll reread them both, looking for increasingly complicated arabesques of sexual perversion. I could reappear with a whip, wearing riding boots, dressed as a woman. Run, my darling. Run to the suburbs. Give my child a normal home. Go!
God, how little do you know. Sit down. I have a tale to tell you.
Nothing you could say.
Sit down.
Nothing you could
I've
say.
known all along you were my dark lover.
You've known.
From the beginning.
But how?
5 years ago, when you announced to me you had scheduled some evening classes, I became suspicious. So when you left for your first class, I followed you.
Followed me.
Yes, I followed my own husband. Followed you to that tacky little theater supply shop downtown where you bought your disguise. Followed you back here. Followed you into the cellar. Hid behind the hot water heater and watched you change into your poor, pathetic imitation of a Negro.
Spied on me.
Yes, I spied on you, my darling. Furtively, suspiciously, like some aging matron. But when I saw what you were doing, understood that you were doing it for me, oh, my heart went out to you. With a great rush of longing, I dashed back inside, eager to receive you, but at the same time, terrified that you would see that I recognized you. Frantically, I dimmed the lights to make things easier for both of us.
I thought it was because you were romantic.
I know you did, darling, and I let you think that. But no, it was simply so I wouldn't give myself away.
You were acting the whole time.
Yes, wasn't I good? Pretending you were someone new and strange. I who am no actress, improvising like a professional during that whole scene.
It's hard to believe. You seem so excited.
Oh, I was. Oh, I was terribly excited, I'll admit it. That strange, sly courtship, the banter, the give and take with all those peculiar racial overtones. Well, I threw myself into it with a vengeance. But then, when you carried me into the bedroom, everything changed.
What do you mean? I was a tiger.
You were, darling. You were a tiger. But I wasn't.
You said you loved me.
I was only pretending. I really hated you.
Hated me.
Oh, I hated myself. It was awful. I felt so guilty. All of my old sexual agonies were magnified, as it were, by a gallery of mirrors. I wanted at least to whimper as I did normally with you when you were white, but now you were black. And I had to stifle my own sighs. Worse, I had to pretend, to play, to fake the most authentic experience a woman can have. And all the time, I felt like a thing, an object, a creature without a soul, a poor, pathetic concubine in the arms of an Ethiopian potentate. And when you left, finally left, I just lay there on the bed, arms folded across my breast like a stone carving on my own tomb. It took every ounce of energy I could muster to rise and greet you at the door when you returned again from your supposed class.
So for the past 5 years, you've been through hell.
No. After that first ghastly evening, I suffered nothing.
You mean you grew accustomed?
I mean, I wasn't there.
Weren't there?
No. I left the house right after you went into the cellar.
So who was here with me?
I got a substitute.
I see.
Oh, darling, try to understand. I simply could not endure another evening like that. The sham, the pretense, it revolted me. And yet, at the same time, I knew how much it meant to you. Oh, the next day I racked my brain trying to think of something which would satisfy us both. I took a long walk. I wandered all over town. Finally, about an hour before I was due home, I saw a woman who looked a little like me. Same hair, same height, roughly the same age.